The Lion King is one of Disney's most beloved movies, filled with iconic characters and deep, emotional moments. One of the biggest questions fans still ask is, why didn't Mufasa ever stop Scar before it was too late? Did he underestimate his brother, or was there a deeper, hidden truth that prevented him from intervening? Today, we uncover a shocking secret about Mufasa that may change everything you thought you knew about the Lion King. As we dive deeper into this mystery, it becomes clear that Mufasa and Scar's relationship was doomed from the start. Mufasa and Scar were not just brothers, they were rivals from the very beginning. Unlike what we see in the movie, Scar wasn't always just a jealous outcast. There was once a time when the two were close. However, their father, Ahedi, made it clear that Mufasa was the favored son, the one destined to rule. Scar, then known as Taka, was left in the shadows, growing resentful. Mufasa may have recognized Scar's growing jealousy, but he was raised to believe in the importance of unity within the royal family. Did he see the darkness growing in his brother's heart but chose to ignore it, or was there something else holding him back from truly confronting Scar before things spiraled out of control? Some theories suggest that Mufasa always hoped Scar would find his own role within the kingdom, rather than taking direct action against him. As we look at the legacy of Ahadi's mistakes, we see how the traditions and values passed down from one generation to the next shaped Mufasa's leadership and his relationship with Scar. Mufasa was raised with one strict belief: the king must always be strong, just, and wise. But what if there was something else that was taught to him? What if, in the royal family, it was forbidden to fight against your own blood? In many real-world lion prides, male lions do not typically kill their own kin unless there is no other choice. What if this same law existed in the Pride lands? If Scar ever challenged Mufasa openly, could Mufasa have been bound by tradition to never strike his brother down? This would mean that even if Mufasa saw Scar as a threat, him was against the unspoken laws of their ancestors. Perhaps the only way Mufasa could have truly stopped Scar would have been to exile him, but doing so would have gone against his principles of family loyalty and unity. Despite Scar's ambition, Mufasa may have believed that keeping him close was safer than driving him out and making him a true enemy. A past mistake that haunted Mufasa may have been the key to his downfall, because there is another possibility, one that involves Mufasa himself making a tragic mistake in his past. Some fan theories suggest that Mufasa might have once harmed Scar in a way that permanently changed him. One popular theory is that Mufasa was responsible for the injury that gave Scar his famous mark. If this theory is true, Mufasa may have carried guilt over what he had done. This could explain why he never exiled Scar or fought back against him, because deep down he felt responsible for what his brother had become. Could it be that Mufasa's guilt made him blind to the danger Scar truly posed? Some versions of Scar's backstory indicate that he was once a strong and charismatic lion, but after a fateful encounter, he was forever changed, physically and mentally. Another aspect of this theory suggests that Mufasa and Scar had a major confrontation long before the events of the Lion King. In this hypothetical past battle, Mufasa may have proven his dominance over Scar, leaving his younger brother humiliated and injured. This might explain why Scar had so much pent-up resentment and was willing to go to such extreme lengths to seize power. Many believe Scar's ambition began later in life, but there is evidence to suggest that Scar was always looking for ways to outshine Mufasa. While Mufasa was busy with learning the responsibilities of a future king, Scar may have been plotting his own way to power. Some lion prides operate in ways where a weaker male must form alliances to survive. Did Scar secretly form bonds with the hyenas long before his betrayal? Was he carefully building an army while Mufasa was distracted by his duties as king? There are clues in The Lion King that suggest Scar had been manipulating the hyenas for years, using their desperation for food as leverage for his eventual coup. Scar's ability to persuade and manipulate is one of his most defining characteristics. Unlike Mufasa, who led with strength and wisdom, Scar used deception and promises of power to gain followers. This raises another interesting question. Did Mufasa underestimate Scar's intelligence? Could Mufasa's belief in honor and justice have prevented him from recognizing how truly cunning Scar was? What Mufasa? The Lion King reveals changes everything we thought we knew about the relationship between Mufasa and Scar. In Mufasa, the Lion King, we learn that Mufasa was not born into royalty, but was instead an orphaned cub who had to earn his place among the pride. Taken in by the then king, Mufasa proved his worth through his noble heart and leadership. However, the film also reveals a pivotal moment that solidified Scar's hatred when Sarabi chose Mufasa over him. Scar, originally named Taka, had always felt overshadowed by his brother. But Sarabi's decision to stand by Mufasa was the final blow. Feeling humiliated and betrayed, Taka's resentment turned into a deep-seated grudge, setting him on the path toward eventual treachery. He believed that his birthright as Ahadi's son should have secured his place as king, yet Mufasa was chosen instead. This rejection was not just political, but deeply personal. Scar saw it as a confirmation that he would always be second to his brother. The film Mufasa, The Lion King, further reveals that Mufasa's rise to power was not one of mere privilege, but of earned respect, which only deepened Scar's bitterness. As Mufasa was embraced by the pride, Scar felt increasingly isolated, his sense of injustice fueling his desire for vengeance. This adds a new layer to Scar's motivations. His hatred for Mufasa was not just about ambition, but also about love, rejection, and the feeling of being cast aside. Mufasa's repeated mercy toward Scar was not just an act of compassion, but perhaps also a reflection of his guilt over how his brother had been treated within the pride. His decisions to spare Scar multiple times suggest that he hoped for reconciliation rather than conflict. This adds a new layer to their tragic relationship, reinforcing that Mufasa's mercy was not a sign of weakness, but of deep-seated hope that his brother could be redeemed, even when all signs pointed otherwise. The tragic lesson in Mufasa's final moments reveals the heartbreaking reality of his unwavering trust in his brother. When Scar betrayed Mufasa during the infamous wildebeest stampede, there was a moment of realization in Mufasa's eyes. He wasn't just shocked that his brother was letting him fall. He understood that Scar had finally crossed the line. In that moment, everything he had ignored, every warning sign he had dismissed, came crashing down. But it was too late. His secret, his inability to act against his own brother, had sealed his fate. What makes this moment even more tragic is that Mufasa still believed there was hope. He didn't beg Scar for his life, nor did he try to fight back. Instead, he reached out in trust, believing that the bond of brotherhood would be enough to save him. But Scar, now consumed by resentment, saw this as his final chance to rid himself of the brother he had always felt overshadowed by. With one cruel act, he ensured Mufasa's death, fulfilling years of suppressed anger and jealousy. This betrayal wasn't just about power, it was deeply personal. Scar had already betrayed Mufasa long before this moment, when he aligned himself with the hyenas, plotted behind his back, and sought to manipulate events to his advantage. The stampede was merely the culmination of a long history of deceit. In the end, it wasn't just Scar's cunning that sealed Mufasa's fate, but Mufasa's own unwavering faith in family and forgiveness. Could his greatest strength, his trust in those he loved, have ultimately been his downfall? Looking at everything we now know, it becomes clear that Mufasa's fate was not sealed by a single event, but by a series of choices and deeply ingrained beliefs. So why didn't Mufasa stop Scar before it was too late? Was it a royal tradition that prevented him from fighting his brother? Was it guilt over a past mistake? Or did he simply believe that Scar would never go through with his dark ambitions? Perhaps Mufasa's greatest weakness was his unwavering belief that Scar, despite his bitterness, still had the capacity for redemption. Throughout their lives, Mufasa had always chosen to see the best in his brother, even when Scar's resentment and treachery became more evident. Additionally, Mufasa's leadership was built on unity and tradition. The idea of exiling or challenging his own brother went against everything he stood for. He believed in family above all else, and perhaps he thought that as long as he maintained power, Scar would remain a manageable threat rather than a true danger to the Pride Lands. One thing is for sure, Mufasa's downfall wasn't just the result of Scar's betrayal, but of a lifetime of choices and secrets that ultimately led to his tragic end. His commitment to tradition, his reluctance to see Scar as an enemy, and his hope for reconciliation all played a role in sealing his fate. Let us know in the comments what you think. Was Mufasa truly powerless to stop Scar, or did he make a fatal mistake by confronting his brother earlier? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite stories.